Hello everybody, it's Aaron from Screen Stars back once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom, and today I am reviewing the comedy Driving While Black, a movie that was directed by Paul Sapiano and stars Dominique Purdy as a young black male in America called Dmitri, who delivers pizzas for a living but is yearning for a break, is trying to make a career for himself, and essentially, this movie explores the reasons why so many black men are pulled over by the police in primarily America today. I suspect it probably happens all over the world, but this film focuses on America. And this is, in a lot of ways, a very, very interesting movie. Quite disjointed and a little bit uncomfortable to watch at times, but I guess that's the point. For a comedy movie, one of the issues with this movie is it's just not particularly funny. It's mildly funny and mildly amusing, but it kind of gets more serious as the movie goes on, and I think that's probably the way it was pitched. It starts off a bit of a poking fun at it, and we go through this Dimitri's life from a young age right up to the age he's at now. I think he's 24 in the movie, and it flashes back to all his experiences as a young lad with the police getting pulled over, and it's happened constantly throughout his life and his friends, to the point where you kind of question it in the movie. You're kind of like, really? Does this really happen this frequently? And I guess it must, because, this is what the film is trying to say, really, that this is a problem and people are just being stopped essentially because of their ethnic minority, which of course is terribly wrong. It is quite uncomfortable to watch at times, especially I felt at times sometimes for the actors, especially some of the actors playing the police officers. It must have been really difficult to film, even though quite a lot it was done with light comedy. There was one cop in particular that you just wanted to dive in the screen and throttle. He was so racist, and he really got on my nerves. But again, I'm sure that's the point. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure there are people like this. It was almost like this movie was a bit like a sketch that a black comedian might do in a stand-up show, like a Chris Rock or, I don't know, Eddie Murphy or somebody like that, Martin Lawrence, and but they kind of stretched it out throughout the whole movie to really hammer this point home, that this is something that a lot of people have to deal with. It does try to be fair. It does try to tell the story from both sides, not just from the black youths who are being pulled over, but it does try and tell the story from the police officer's side as well. There's one young Asian female police officer who has a black husband, and they go out to celebrate because she gets promoted to sergeant, and he does a U-turn in the road, and a white police officer pulls him over and gives him a hard time, and as soon as he finds out that she's a police officer, he backs off, and she gets really cross with him. And a couple of other scenes as well. So it does try and be fair, but I think how it kind of tells the story from both sides, it doesn't tell it particularly well on either case, really. I think the movie Detroit did it much better, even though it was a different subject matter in a way. It was still about racism and things like that. So I think that was gave a far more powerful message. This tried to give the message through humour, but it just wasn't. It wasn't funny to me, because I kind of felt, really, I felt bad for the people in this movie for what they were having to portray, and the people probably having to go through this in real life as well. It does get very dark as it goes on. I mean, the last 20 minutes or so are quite powerful. There's the police are actually searching for this kind of serial attacker who's attacking young girls, and he's like doing really horrible things to them and burning them and all this kind of stuff. And the hero of the piece, this Dmitri, he's got all these stuff in his car that would, make him an ideal suspect for this. So, when the police pull him over for the umpteenth time and find all his stuff, you're kind of like, oh my god, what's going on here? I thought the guy that played Dmitri was quite a good actor as well. He was quite charming. He had some good screen presence. So I think this movie is okay. It's nothing special. It does get the message across, and it is entertaining at times, and an interesting watch. I've not really seen an awful lot like this before, so worth a watch.